Let's just sit down and jam for a little bit. I was talking to this woman the other day, and she was saying that, sometimes she wakes up in the morning and she goes to bed at night and she just feels this sense of like a longing or like this emptiness. And I asked her if she could expand on this a little bit. And basically what she said was that she sometimes sits there and she has this feeling, and this question comes into her mind, and she asks herself, what the hell am I doing with my life? I think that this is something that we all experience from time to time. And what I also want to say is that it's something that we experience no matter what kind of lifestyle we have, no matter what age we are. Like, it affects every human being, this kind of question. And I really don't think that it's an accident that she is thinking about this kind of stuff, given the time of the year that it is. So at the time that I'm filming this video, it is like almost the end of August, which is like the back to school sort of, season and feeling. And for most of us in the Western world, back to school is all about starting over and thinking about how we can do things differently, how we can be better than we were the previous year. It's almost like a new year for us. We're conditioned to feel that way. But not only that, I think for us as adults, whether we're in school or out of school or have kids or we don't have kids, this back to school feeling, this end of the year feeling really sort of provokes us to realize that the year is almost over. That the New Year's resolutions that we created and all of the stuff that we said we wanted to do at the beginning of the year, that almost a whole year has gone by. And we have to ask ourselves, what have I done with the year? And really what we confront is this feeling of like, where did the year go? One of the things that my elders always tell me is that, as you get older, the years fly by faster. And I guess I can attest to that, because I remember, when I was a kid, feeling like the summers were so long. Like, I actually couldn't wait to get back into school so I could see my friends and I could do it all over again. And even though my mom had me in all different kinds of camps and activities, or we would, use that summer time to really, connect with family and friends and stuff like that, like, I just couldn't wait to start again. When we're adults, like I say, whether we're adults in school or not in school or whatever the case may be, we have to confront where we are at with what we said we would accomplish. And that's not just for the year, that's like for our whole lives. Now, I don't want, sorry, I have to take my shoes off. I feel like the energy is just flowing. So I don't want for us to feel like, when we ask ourselves these questions, like, I don't want us to feel depressed. And I'm sure you don't want to feel depressed. The client that I was working with didn't want to feel depressed. It's part of the reason why we're working together. Because the thing is, when we're asking this question of what am I doing with my life, like, what the hell am I doing, there needs to be an answer. When we can't answer it, that's when we start to feel sad and frustrated and lost and depressed. And we feel like we don't know how to get out. So the work to really be done, as I see it, is to reflect on, well, what do you want? What did you say you wanted when you started the year off? And I know a lot of things happened this year. I know for a lot of us, there were a lot of transitions. Some of my clients and viewers out here went through a divorce. Some of my clients and viewers out here lost people that they loved in their lives, whether it was from a death or the end of a relationship or a natural disaster. Maybe your financial situation changed and so your plans had to change. You know, there are changes that are always happening and life is always happening. And that's one of the things that makes life in general just difficult, is because you can't control everything and you certainly can't control everyone. And yet you still have to find a way to continue on. You have to find a way to be adaptable, to be okay with change, to be able to reflect so that you can know what is the next best action. Do I need to change direction? Am I even on path? Or what do I do now? So I'm hoping that this video, like even as I'm talking to you right now and just sharing with you and talking about what we ought to do next, I hope that you're starting to feel differently within yourself and your body, like, okay, I'm starting to get at the tip or the axis of how I can overcome these feelings of feeling completely lost in the wilderness, or like, I don't know what to do next. As you're reflecting on what you want, you know, or what you said you wanted, it's time to really just look at, like, what were the barriers? Like, what got in your way? Was it that you totally forgot? Is it that you don't know what to do next? Is it that you don't know what to do? Is it that you feel lonely and that keeps having you do things that are not in alignment with what's right for you? Is it money? Like, what is it? Because once you identify what it is that keeps stopping you and tripping you up and blocking you, then you can go beyond it. You can move past it. You can make a plan to sort of turn things around. You can sort of decide, okay, well, I've got this many months left of the year. Here's how I'm going to spend that time. And not only that, it's not just about the end of the year. This is when you start to go, okay, well, here's what I want for the rest of my life. Here's what I'm no longer going to accept in my life. And here's the bar. Here are the standards. This is what the quality of life ought to look like. This is what the standard of my relationships ought to look like. This is what the vision is. Now I just got to find the right people to help me get there. And as you sort of come to the realization or the understanding of these things, then it's just about doing the work. Now, if you're feeling at all stuck in this conversation, like you're just watching this video and you're like, I don't know what I want, I don't know what to do, I don't know what the block is, I don't know what the barrier is, you know, check out some of the other videos on my playlist, because I talk about all different kinds of topics that can sometimes block you or trip you up, and it might free you up. But also, you know, if those free resources don't feel like that's where you want to stop, then ask for help, you know? Work with someone like myself that's a coach. Work with a psychotherapist that's got all kinds of cool, you know, techniques that they can help you to uncover those blocks. Either way, just reach out and ask for help. You know, if you've been struggling with this for a while, or if you just feel like you're just tired of doing everything on your own, then stop doing it on your own. I think, honestly, for the rest of our lives, we'll be asking ourselves this question. And so it's really important to understand this whole angst, this yearning, this emptiness that we sometimes feel, like, what am I doing with the rest of my life, is like the universe's divine way of really bringing us home to ourselves. Because as human beings, you know, we're animals, like, and I don't mean that in a primitive way, but I mean, like, just like every other creature on the planet, you know, we want to find love, procreate, and take care of our young. And so a lot of our identity, or our sense of our self-identification is what I'm talking about, is around having children, raising those children and dedicating our life to those children. And as we evolve more spiritually, or as we come to understand ourselves better, we start to realize that while being of service and being available to others and raising children and family and relationships, like while all of those things are the things that make life so beautiful, we won't feel full and we won't feel complete and we won't feel entirely happy if we're not also building a relationship with ourselves, if we're not making sure that we feel fed, if we're not making sure that our heart is taken care of and that our passions are being listened to, and if we are not using ourselves and our bodies as an instrument for greatness, which is why we're really here. We can absolutely be a source for greatness or allow greatness through our relationships with others, but let us never forget that this body, this mind, and this spirit is the foundation of it all. You have the power to create whatever you want. And it doesn't matter what stage or what age or where you're at. It doesn't matter if you're in high school and you're watching this, or if you are in a retirement home and you're watching this. It doesn't matter if you have no children and don't want children at all, or if you are at a place where you do want children and you're not sure how to make that happen. It doesn't matter if you're single, divorced. It doesn't matter the color of your skin, your sexuality, your religion. Part of being human and being an aware human is wanting to know that your life matters, and that you are being the best that you can be, and that you are leaving things better than the way you got it. And that's why we always come back to that question. So I hope this video helps you to have power in understanding what to do when that question comes up, and why, from a spiritual perspective. Let me say that again. Why, from a spiritual perspective, that comes up. And it was really fun just to jam with you. Y'all, for those of you that have been watching my videos for a long time, you know that sometimes I like to just riff like this, and I like to just like connect with you one-on-one if you're watching this video alone, or just connect with you directly without a lot of editing and stuff like that. And then I have like a bunch of my viewers who like can't stand long videos and can't stand riffing and don't want all of the chatter. They just want you to get to the point. And that's what Self-Love Masterclass is really for. When you just want to download that lesson and you want it as quick as possible. But these vlogs are for us to just jam. And if you've watched till the end, man, you are totally like me. You just love to connect, and that's awesome. You know, if you guys have questions, leave them in the comments below. If you really enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really, it helps support me in just knowing what kind of videos to make more of. You know, because this isn't just for me. This is like we're in a partnership. So this is for all of us, and it's important to me that I make quality content for you. If you haven't already subscribed to this YouTube channel, then I hope that you do. And I hope to see you again in the next video. As an aside, my hair is coming along. I kind of feel a little bit weird still. Like I feel like it appears like I don't have any hair on my head, and that's just because of the stage of the journey that I'm in. I'm still in the infant stage of having my locks, and it feels really good. I feel really happy about my choice still, and yeah, it's just getting them to a point where they're mature and I can start to play around with them a little bit more. But yeah, so this is 1 month in, and it's cool because since I'm doing videos all the time, you guys are really going to be able to see the progression and how they grow. So if any of you out here were considering starting dreads or starting locks again, then you will be able to see my process, and I hope it helps you. All right, let's end this video. So good to be with you, and I'll see you for the next one.